This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we're going to have a special edition show today. And what that special edition show will be will include every song being dedicated to my lovely wife because she got mad at me. In addition to that, coming up at 7:45, we're going to have the top 10 favorite things about my wife that I can say while remaining tasteful. In addition to that, today, we're going to have a public apology by Garrett that he has to make in order to remain on the show. And we also have more posters. All I can say is, wow. And we look forward to presenting those to you. What else do we have on top? I'm going to explain to you the impact of Obamacare on business and you as an individual. Had a Deters company snappy board meeting last night, and I would like to explain to you the impact of that. Jake's going to have a zoo animal here today. Jake, you got a zoo animal in a cage ready to go?
It's on its way.
It's on its way?
Yep.
We're going to have a zoo animal. I got to tell you a funny story about a guy named Rudy Yessen. I'm going to be in court at 9 a.m. If you're wondering how I'm going to do that, we have Star Trek technology here at the studio, and they will beam me down to Pendleton County at 9 a.m. to be in court with Cassie Elfers, a young woman who was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with an 8th grade basketball player who her boyfriend coached. In addition, I have been retained to represent the parents of the 6-year-old who was dropped off alone by the bus driver the other day. Crazy. We're going to comment about Joe Deters' press conference with a serial rapist. That's my cousin Joe. I sent him a text last night. I said, I love your press conferences. He said, thanks, cuz. That's great. Like he says, he's a useless piece of human being. I mean, he just lets him have it. You know what I mean? What else do we have on tap today? Oh, we got a little story about Shannon and my son Parker I think you'll enjoy. I got some interesting questions that I can't believe I forgot to pose yesterday about Mantal Teo. We're going to do a country-by-country Hillary Clinton review as Secretary of State. Is this enough? Is this enough yet? I mean, my goodness, all this wonderful things that we're going to discuss. Plus the newsletter, of course. I mean, we're going to cover the newsletter. Today in history, Edgar Allan Poe's Raven was first published in 1845. 1924, the ice cream cone rolling machine was patented by Carl Taylor in Cleveland. Don't tell me nothing good ever comes out of Cleveland. And of course, in 1936, the first players elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, and I got them all right but one. I said Ty Speaker instead of Honus Wagner. That was Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Christy Mathewson, and Walter Johnson. Walt Disney, 1959, Sleeping Beauty was released. I love this song. 1983, Down Under, by Men of Work, hit the #1 on the UK pop chart.
Great song. Everybody knows what a Vegemite sandwich is because of this song.
What is it?
A Vegemite sandwich.
Is that what they say? I never knew what the heck they said. They said Vegemite sandwich. I have no idea what that was.
Some sort of Australian.
Paul Ryan is 43 today. Greg, I once hit my head on a diving board, and who cares that I'm gay? Luganis is 53. This is Irene Mandrell. Is that Barbara Mandrell's sister? I tell you, I had a crush on Barbara Mandrell. She was an attractive country music singer. Oprah Winfrey is 59. Does Oprah go up on our wall? No. Hey. We got to get an Geraldo poster.
Okay.
Geraldo's our friend now. He is going to be our liaison to the Hispanic community in this country. Tom Selleck, 68. Magnum, man. I liked Magnum. I used to stay up late at night watching Magnum. Dun, 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 dun. Who's this butler? He's kind of a funny guy. He's little Alfred. William McKinley, who is president, his birthday today. John Forsythe, the actor. By the way, William McKinley was shot. He was in a line. This is a great story. He was in a line at the big World Fair, and this little girl, he gave this little girl a flower, and then, this is incredible, there was, the guy that shot him, right behind him was a black guy. And the guards of William McKinley was focused on the black guy. The guy next to him shot him. The black guy ended up being a cop, helped tackle the guy.
Wow.
A little bit of wrongful profiling. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I got in trouble. My wife was mad at me. So I am dead. I'm not going to tell you why, but I'm just going to tell you that I'm dedicating every song today to my wife. And I also dedicate this song to all of our female friends, all of our female clients, and those female jurors in the Sarah Jones case.
And Jake.
And Jake. We dedicate to Jake too. Helen Reddy, I Am Woman. Hear me now on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. I just want everybody to know we got superbity going on already. Today, breezy high of 65. Wednesday, showers. And get this, Thursday we crashed to 31. We're going to lose 30 degrees in one day. All right, William stepped up his game today. The interesting facts today are good. They're superb. They're fact superbity.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right. Zachary Taylor didn't vote until he was 62. He couldn't even vote for himself.
Hell is Zachary Taylor.
All right. The average person will visit the toilet 2,500 times per year. That's 6 to 8 times a day. It totals 3 years of your life is on the toilet.
See, I am above average.
Indonesia has the
I'm
largest
telling you guys that forever now.
amount of islands of any country. It has more than 17,000 individual islands. Only 6,000 are popular. I want to go buy one.
Wow.
Hey Jake, is there anything on traffic out there? It is rainy and wet.
I'll look up and get back to you.
All right. Every year there are 40,000 toilet-related injuries in the U.S.
I passed out on a toilet one time, almost got hurt.
Really, the odds are 1 out of 10,000 you will get a toilet-related injury this year. And you know what? We've got a toilet injury special with Eric Deters.
2 for 1.
The main part of the Great Wall of China is approximately 2,145 miles long.
What the hell does that mean, William? The main part.
Well, there's like 1,700 miles of spurs, like little outlayers. I didn't know that. Just didn't know that. Over 100,000 US dollars were spent to finance a study on determining whether people put their toilet rolls on the holder with its flap in front or behind.
It's a real good study.
The result, 3 out of 4, flap in front. I'm a flap in front guy.
Love the food. Actually, it pisses me off when somebody puts the flap in back.
Me too. John Quincy Adams, Jake, kept an alligator pet in the White House. Who's your favorite president?
Quincy Adams.
That's what I thought. While modeling for sculpting class in 1940, Ronald Reagan was deemed as having the most perfectly near perfect figure of a male by the Division of Fine Arts. You know, UC Art School keeps asking me to pose naked for their art class, and I keep saying no. I'm not going to sit there and stand. How do you do that in front of a class, just being naked? My wife went to art school. I wonder if she ever posed naked for her classmates. She better not have.
I did.
Thank God I didn't have iPhones back then. People taking pictures of her.
Taking a video of that.
A cow udder holds between 25 and 50 pounds of pure milk. It takes 345 squirts to produce 1 gallon of milk. By the way, the question of the day, listen to this stupid question of the day. What is the one thing you have not done in life that you really want to do? It's like a Ben Stiller question. So we're changing it. This is Chuck came up with this. Who are you more like, JR or Bobby? On Dallas. You don't even freaking know who JR and Bobby. Jay's all
We
paid.
don't know Dallas.
Alright, here is a great, the joke's pretty good. A female CNN journalist heard about a very old Jewish man who had been going to the most significant site in the world for the Jewish people, the Western Wall, to pray twice a day, every day for a long, long time. So she went to check it out. She went to the Western Wall, and there he was, walking slowly up to the holy site. She walked and prayed, and after about 45 minutes, when he turned to leave, using a cane and moving very slowly, she approached him for an interview. "Pardon me, sir. I'm Rebecca Smith from CNN. What's your name?" "Morris Feinberg," he replied. "Sir, how long have you been coming to Western Wall and praying?" "For about 60 years. 60 years? That's amazing. What do you pray for?" "I pray for peace between Christians, Jews, and Muslims. I pray for all the wars and hatred to stop. I pray for all our children to grow up safely as responsible adults and love their fellow man. I pray that politicians tell us the truth and put the interests of the people ahead of their own interests." "How do you feel about doing this for 60 years? "It's like I'm talking to an effing wall." I like it. You didn't. It flopped. That will not be part of my comedy show on Saturday night at 9 o'clock at Thompson House in Newport.
Yeah, I kind of.
Where I will not tell jokes, by the way. I'm not just a joke teller. I'm an observer of life teller. Got anything on traffic there, Jake? And did you find those Andy Griffith cuts I requested?
I do. We have both of them.
All right, we're going to have some Andy Griffith fun today. By the way, that's something that's, my wife does not like Andy Griffith. I don't know why, but she doesn't like Andy Griffith.
There's a water main burst on Hamilton Avenue at US 127, north of Rockford, please. And that's it.
That's it.
That is it.
Pretty boring traffic report.
Well, sorry.
By the way, if you're wondering, Traffic Girl Shannon gets here at 7 a.m. Why? Because nothing ever happens until 7 a.m.
I think she's.
Plus, I think she's lazy. Pete Rose's show was pulled from the lineup last night due to low ratings in the first few weeks. Ha ha, Pete, come on.
Shocker.
Hulk Hogan posted a photo of his daughter in a short dress online with the caption, "Brooks Lake." You know what? You don't post quote-unquote sexy pictures of your daughter anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Taylor Swift. She said in her new, more revealing wardrobe, just a sign of her getting older, but proclaimed, "I'm not going to be like taking my clothes off or that sort of thing."
She is ditzy.
Barbara Walters has got chicken pox. She told to have chicken. Baba Wawa. Tiger Woods won the Torrey Pines, the Farmers Insurance Open. He's starting out with a tour win. Why? Because he and the ex are doing it again. Roger Goodell, new poll, only 39% approve him. 39% of the players approve of him. Yeah, heck yeah, he disciplines them. Indiana's ranked 3rd, Florida 4th, Gonzaga Bulldogs 7th, Ohio State 11th, Louisville 12th, Cincinnati 24th. By the way, on my closing argument,
Where was Kentucky? I didn't hear.
They're 26th. In my closing argument the other day, when I split my 30 minutes of time, I chose 23 and 7. Lucky numbers. Cincinnati Cyclones. Next game is Thursday. I just sent a text to Nick Brunger. Said, when the hell's Bulldog Nation night?
I just texted him too. Did you text him?
I texted him. Well, I just said I texted him. By the way, I'm going to tell you something. We were talking about this guy that ran like 27 miles for cancer and raised a bunch of money. And I know you did not say anything negative at all.
Absolutely not.
And somebody sent me a text.
I love cancer.
Complaining. And you should be fired. I want to tell you, I got your back. They said you should be fired.
Yeah.
And I said, I ain't going to fire the guy. So will you apologize even though you need to apologize?
Yeah, I'm sorry if I offended you. Jeez, take it easy.
There you go. That's the way we roll it. There's another station around here. You screw up one time, you're canned.
Boom, gone.
Thank God we work for Bill Spry, the nicest radio station general manager and owner in the entire world.
He's a rebel.
Bill Spry, the rebel. Me and Spry, baby. We rock. We come back, we're going to have some Andy Griffith clips. And until then, again, this song I also dedicate to my lovely wife who is upset with me. And I dedicate this song because I'm trying to get her heart happy again. By the way, folks, it wasn't anything really bad. I'm having a little fun here. Don't anybody thinking something's up. You know how it is being married. But I got the best wife in the world. And this is Andy Williams' Happy Heart, my favorite Andy Williams song on ClassX Radio. Bulldog on ClassX Radio coming up at 7:45 will be the top 10 things I love about my wife while remaining tasteful. Louisville 64, Pittsburgh 61 last night. Tonight, Wisconsin at Ohio State. UK at Ole Miss at 9 p.m. How you like that? You ain't going on traffic there, Jake?
No, it's just that that water main break. But that's it.
Ah.
Yeah. Nothing
At least it's
exciting.
not
like that.
freezing. At least it's not.
Yeah, at least it's not
causing
super
issue.
cold out.
Really?
Yeah.
Got a couple of sad stories. And I didn't know these people, but wow. Dwayne Luttrell, 33 years old, suffered critical injuries in the Friday morning house explosion in Newport, has died at UC Medical Center. I mean, their house just, I mean, his mom still in the hospital, his dad's got injuries. And this one, you know, I gotta step up my game on this cause. I mean, if I need a bigger platform, but even the platform I got, I need to use it more. This make you sick, folks. She was 11 years old, London, Ohio girl, bullied at school for having thick glasses and ADHD. Ended her life, according to Police Chief David Wiseman. How in the hell do we let that happen? It's the school, teachers, parents of the kids. I mean, this had to be an ongoing thing. And you know what? Those of you that think that, you know, little picking on's okay. Well, you know what? I think it reaches a stage in life, you know, maybe a teenager, I guess, where you got to endure a little bit of that. 11? 11. I'm telling you, I'm devastated just reading that. 11-year-old girl committing suicide, bullied at school for having thick glasses and ADHD. Bless her little heart. And I got some emails this week of some bullying going on. Incredible. And they're such, you know, you got immunity. I mean, these schools have immunity. But now I'm going to meet with these people because I just have to try to do something. I try to do something. 44% of the registered voters will have to wait to see who his opponent is. That's Mitch McConnell, deciding what to do. Are you ready for this? Wow! Garrett, WRRM, Warm 98.5 beat WLW.
Whoa.
WLW went under 10 share.
Wow, for the first time in like 15 years.
9.8.
Unbelievable.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's what you get for recording half your stuff.
Jim Scott, sorry. Oh my God.
I wonder who's got the worst ratings. And I wonder who pulled them down. I bet it was Sloaney. Amazon.
You know what? Chuck just sent me a text. You know what? You're not supposed to endorse violence. But if there was like a bully that was like always bullying and the parents were told repeatedly to stop and they kept on going, wouldn't it be tempting to just whoop the parents' ass?
Kick the kid's ass.
Yeah. You know, I've stood up.
Hit a kid.
I've stood up for that before as an adult. I remember this young kid was getting picked on pretty bad at a church festival, St. Cecilia, and I might have been like, I don't know, early 20s, mid 20s. This kid was a teenager, and I saw this kid, and I was going to lay this teenage kid out, man.
Yeah, it's tough to see.
It is. Here's another sad story. Evanston, 16-year-old killed around 7 p.m. at Woodburn and Gilbert Avenues. He had multiple GSWs, and the suspect is still on the loose.
Gunshot wounds?
Yep. Gunshot wounds. Cincinnati Public Schools approve a new policy. Open enrollment. There you go. The Greater Cincinnati Red Kettle Campaign, the Salvation Army, collected $775,000. I know I always throw money in there after Kroger's.
Yeah.
I always do.
That was like a record they made.
How about this? Vanessa Dean, Dearborn County, October 2011, set her house on fire with her 40-year-old still inside. 15 years in prison, 13 suspended, will serve the final under house. I don't know the circumstance. I don't know the circumstance. But you know what? If that happened to me, I would freaking, if that was on purpose, I would freaking,
Killer.
that's murder.
It's attempted murder.
22-year-old Dominic Gaines was arrested and charged with child endangerment after posting a photo of himself on Facebook holding his 1-year-old child and a BB gun. What the? What's that got to do with anything?
Well, they said that because the gun was so close, even if it was just a BB gun, they still arrested the dumbass.
Wow.
Probably thought he was something. Who was it? What's the name?
The name is Vanessa Dean.
No, not the house fire, the guy with the gun.
Oh, Dominic Gaines.
So we're thinking probably black eye. Yeah, I could see that, trying to pose like a gangsta.
Right, right.
And then gets busted. So good.
I want to tell you this. How about this? Alabama, drunk patient steals ambulance. 24-year-old Matthew Todd was intoxicated, stole an ambulance after being transported to an emergency room and crashed it. He then walked into a nearby barn and tried to saddle 2 horses before stealing an SUV and totaling it. He then stole another vehicle to drive home before going back. You know, one of the great things I liked about Varsity Blues was when Tweeter stole the cop car with the 3 girls in it. That was funny stuff, man.
It's like The Hangover. They stole a cop car. Didn't know where the hell they got it.
2 men were charged with stealing the chicken wings, $65,000 worth, in a Doraville, Georgia cold storage facility.
$65,000 worth of chicken wings.
Yep.
It's a lot of chicken wings.
That's like 65,000 chicken wings.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Must have had the munchies.
How about this? Representative Pete Beck, a Mason Republican, chairman of the House Ways and Committee, questioning his role in some kind of a scandal. Wow, how you like this? A new report reveals the grand jury voted to indict the parents of the 6-year-old John Benet Ramsey. The prosecutor told media he didn't have enough evidence to prosecute. Can you say pay off? Wow. That is wow.
I don't remember.
By the way, there's no statute of limitations on a felony. Just saying. 31-year-old Ricky Lee Fowler was sentenced to death yesterday for setting a wildfire that damaged over 1,000 homes in San Bernardino and killed 5 individuals. Yeah, you know what? Sorry, man. Man, there's a lot of bad things. You know what we need? We need a joyful song. Now, the reason why I selected this song to dedicate to my wife is this was a really popular song back in the 70s at the roller skating rink, like where you held the girl's hand and roller skated. I always dreamed about holding my wife's hand and roller skating with her, but I never got the chance. Seasons in the Sun by Terry Jacks. This is a great song. ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, coming up at the next segment, we're going to do our poster presentations that came in the mail. We like sharing these with you. And if you would simply like to make any contributions and suggestions, please do so. We may or may not reject them. Traffic girl has arrived.
Good morning.
All right, traffic girl, do you have anything to report in traffic this morning?
Yes, there's a water main burst on Hamilton Avenue.
A burst!
127 north of Rockford Place. An accident reported in Hamilton on I-74 west of the Ohio-Indiana state line. And there's an accident on Miamitown Avenue at Main Street.
Momican?
Momican.
Oh my God.
Momican!
You can tell she's from Kentucky.
Mick.
Hillbillies kill me.
It's early, I couldn't read it.
You know, I'm one of these Kentucky boys that know my way around Ohio.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know that.
You've adapted well to life in the big
Ohio's
city.
are the worst drivers.
That's because Bulldog Nation goes wide and far. Practice law over here. My wife and I go to the Esquire and other features, you know.
You guys in your big trucks.
What do you got a problem with an F-150 truck?
Yes, I do. You just need a big nutsack hanging off.
Stop!
Just saying.
Don't even say that word.
Those are the hillbillies I'm talking about.
Man, I gotta reel you in, man. I gotta reel you in. As of yesterday, the Illinois cities recorded 40 homicides for January 2013. While attending a party at a New York City residence, the mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg, was greeting partygoers when he brushed off gun control praise, turned to look at a woman in a tight evening gown and said, "Look at the ass on her."
Nice.
Good job, mayor.
Nice move.
Get some class about you. Just because you're a billionaire.
Look at that. You know what, though?
Wouldn't we all?
We've all said that.
Not me.
Oh.
In order to increase supervision of Al-Qaeda and Islamic extremist groups, the military
said that.
is working to set up an unarmed surveillance drone base in the nation of Niger. That's where we need bases, in Niger.
Careful there.
Boy Scouts of America, the group is reportedly working towards lifting the ban on gay individuals joining the organization. Network investigative reporter Jason Matera asked Bloomberg if he would disarm his security team to show his support for gun control. Tried to question him. Aha! Did you see that clip?
Yeah,
I watched it.
Of something of that. What is that? The mom's.
Jason Matera.
Yeah.
Jason Matera.
Security you got. And you're an advocate for gun control? In the spirit of gun control, will you disarm your entire security team? You'll get back to me? Would you like a sip of my soda? Wait, believe it. Why can you defend yourself but not the majority of Americans? I mean, look at the team of security you got. And you're an advocate for gun control? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting. Probably more. I'm good. Also start doing it. You like Anderson? I'm credentialed for this. Yes, thank you. Sure. What we get over here, Sam? A lot of streets. No. You didn't have jurisdiction? Absolutely. No security jurisdiction. Absolutely, sir. I asked a question. There's nothing. What did I violate? I'm trying to see you now. Since I've been out to the give ID credential like all that.
I like that.
Oh, good for that guy.
Huh?
He was all up in the business. It was good. It was good.
Okay. Oh, I gotta ask you about Manti Te'o. I've been anxious to. I can't believe I haven't asked you guys. Did you hear about this guy that apparently claims it was a male voice talking to him all the time? If you're Manti Te'o, does it just not make you like yuckity yuck yuck if you know that you were saying little lullabies on the phone every night as you fell asleep to a dude?
It's his own fault.
Yeah.
I know, but that's like yucky, man. It's just bad enough, but to think he was saying all those things to a dude.
Well, yeah, that would
Ah!
just be like salt in the wound.
Oh!
But I heard it was a girl. Like they had a girl.
Yeah, I don't
Picture
know
of
if
the
it is
girl.
or
They would have
not.
had to.
Well, the picture of the girl was like a high school friend that this guy that tricked Manti kind of duped this girl into sending him. And that's the picture they used as this girl, but it might have been a different girl, I think, that actually was on the phone.
Or a guy.
Or a guy.
Oh my God.
Or a guy. And a guy. How about an Andy Griffith clip? I love these Andy Griffith clips. We gotta play some Andy Griffith clips.
They on the bits. Hold on.
Bits.
Bud.
Bits.
Griff.
Griff. Yeah. Garrett's always. This is Barney talking to Opie and his class.
I think it's only fair to warn you that if you keep on getting into trouble and breaking the law, it can only lead to one thing: incarceration.
Incarceration, Garrett.
The idea of being incarcerated. The idea not scary. Well, to be incarcerated.
I know what it means. It's like when a doctor gives you a shot.
No, that's an argument. I mean jail, locked up. Now, boys, if you misstep over here, man. Boys, these are our maximum securities. This is where convicted persons are inoculated.
Inoculate.
This is the last stop. A man confined to prison is a man who has given up his life. No more carefree hours. No more doing what
This is the warning for all of you guys out there.
peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
What's his name? Just about to walk in. Is he drunk?
Yep.
Otis?
Otis.
What?
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
He began one fine day on a street corner when he broke a street party. Where did it all end? Right here. Yes, bigger than the boys. Because it definitely is no fun. An earned
And
And that's when he locks himself in.
I thought Otis was just going to come in and put himself in.
You know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, coming up after this break, we're going to do posters. And at 7:45, I'm going to give the top 15 things I love about my wife while remaining tasteful. By the way, I want to plug. Well, I can't plug. Never mind, I can't do that. But I'm working on more sponsors for the show. You know what? I ought to get paid more money than what I do. $100,000 is not enough for what I do. And how about this again, folks? If you're just tuning in, the big one is under 10 share, 9.8, beaten by 98.5. We were third at 9.5. We're catching them. I love it. What's the song you gave me the thing and I threw it away? Isn't that terrible? Get out of the
Oh,
garbage can.
jeez.
Oh, this is a great song. Again, we're dedicating all my songs to my lovely wife this morning, so she's not mad at me anymore. This is Beach Boys. God only knows what I'd be without Garrett and my wife on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. We have, for your viewing pleasure, when you come to the studio, Kiss.
Worst band ever.
Hey, they're entertainers, man, entertainers.
Horrible band. Put that up out of my...
We have Alyssa Milano.
Yes. Oh.
We have Malcolm X. If you don't stand for something, you will fall anything. I swear to God, that's Denzel Washington.
That's
That's what, when Denzel Washington played him, I'm like, that was good casting. Malcolm X joins Martin Luther King. Bird and Magic. Iconic. All right. The wife of, here's another one we got to get up here. We got to get a Charles Bronson poster.
Okay.
He is worthy. Charles Bronson. This is Jill St. John. Charles Bronson never left her.
Yep, like
You know what I mean?
It's good.
All right, Chuck Holbrook's former girlfriend. I'm sorry, Rebecca. It wasn't, the relationship was never consummated. It was platonic, girlfriend, boyfriend. Heather Locklear.
We're just using her for her body.
I think Chuck would agree with this poster. Thank you, Heather. I was kind of looking for a little TJ Hooker poster.
Nice.
And John Derrick was married to Ursula Andress, Linda Evans, and Bo Derrick. Ursula Andress. By the way, when's Linda Evans going to get here?
Should be on its way.
All right.
Yeah, showing a little
Showing a little.
Hey.
We broke the wall.
revealing poster.
Now, traffic girl, is there anything to report in traffic?
Yes, there is a water main burst on Hamilton Avenue, US 127, north of Rockford Place. An accident reported in Hamilton on I-74, west of Ohio-Indiana state line. An accident on McMillan Avenue at Main. And in Erlanger, an accident on the ramp to I-71-75 Donaldson Highway.
All right.
Get it together, Pete.
Hey, you know, I'm gonna have a little legal lesson here today. Do you know that if you see a felony in progress, you have the right to arrest them? You can make a citizen's arrest. You can. Do you know that?
No.
If you see a felony in progress, you can tackle them, hold them, contain them, and make a citizen. And I think you should shout it out too. Like when you are making the arrest, this is what you want to shout out. Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest!
Write yourself out a ticket.
Gotta love Mayberry. Shannon, is it alright if I tell them about the first prom that you ever went to?
Yeah.
I am not kidding you, okay? Parker's junior prom. He sees Shannon behind the bar at Bulldogs, right? The guy has the gumption to ask her to prom. Guess what? She'd never been to high school prom. So she says, why not? Shannon goes with Parker at his junior high school prom.
I did.
Well done,
Is
Parker.
that not cool as hell?
Well done,
She
Parker.
got the dress.
Cool.
She went out with the. How cool was that?
It was a
Pretty cool.
fun night. It was fun.
How you like that? Parker can. Parker
good.
can brag.
Never
Now, how
been
old
to
were
a
you?
prom.
How old were you at the time?
I'm 23.
23.
Man,
How many
So
guys
old,
take
yeah.
a 23-year-old girl to the prom?
only the studs.
Just saying, man. And by the way, he was
We have a
not.
picture, don't
You got a picture?
Yeah.
I'll bring it in tomorrow. You know what? No one was arrested.
we? No.
No one was charged with a crime.
Thanks.
Maybe that's why I ended up like representing teachers charged with it. By the way, Channel 12 pointed out this morning that I'm 3-0. About to be 4-0. By the way, Sarah Jones is going to be on Willie today at 106. Bill Spry doesn't mind the little cross promotion there because Willie listeners listen to me instead of Jim Scott. Just the way it is.
Willie yesterday going on.
Oh my God.
Lisa Wells.
Oh,
staring her up.
oh God. How about Sarah becoming a lawyer and whooping her butt in court? That'll never happen. That'll never happen. And then she goes, well, you and Eric are BFF. Oh my God. Sorry, Willie and I don't talk in the terms of BFF.
BF. Oh, I hated her.
Yeah. Crazy, man. How about Joe Deters' press conference with a serial rapist? Gotta love old Joe, don't you?
She always thought she was better than, like, she was.
Oh, you're not
Better
kidding.
looking.
An inflated opinion. Well, here's the funny thing about it. Why Willie is like freaking dogging her.
Horrible on the radio.
Terrible.
by the way.
But what she doesn't realize is Willie's making fun of her, that it demeans her and it lessens her. I mean, anybody who's a fan of Willie's listening to that and saying, she's a goofball.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, coming up at the next break, I'm also gonna trash Hillary. I just feel compelled to do it. 7:45, the top 15 things I love about my wife while remaining tasteful. We got Pastor Dan coming in from 8 to 9 to help me out a little bit as I gotta go to court.
You know, did I tell you, I always feel like I have to be on my best behavior, like I'm in church when Dan's here.
You ought to be on your best
You
behavior when Dan's
class it up
here.
when Dan's here.
Jay, don't
You class it up.
Class out the ass.
And tomorrow will be Dr. Kurtzman, I guess, will show up. You know what we ought to say? We ought to tell Kurtzman to grow a pair and leave Patty Eucalyptus at home. Does Dr. Kurtzman go anywhere without his ball and chain Patty Eucalyptus?
Seriously, Doc.
My, come on, Doc.
When's he coming in?
Do you always got to bring in Patty Eucalyptus? I mean, my God. You know, we'd like to talk some shop with you, you know, but we can't because you got Patty with you.
Gotta find her a chair.
I mean, gosh darn, she's always with him. I don't get it, man. Doc, come on, man.
It's a guy show.
It's a guy show.
Shannon.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Hey, don't throw those away, man.
I won't.
Get them back.
Okay,
They
man.
recycle, bro.
Okay, bro. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it, bro. By the way, vote for me in City Beat voting. I was supposed to have the link and I didn't get it. Chuck, if you're listening, we got to get that link from Jack Stecklin again. He's the one that sent it.
Oh, my mom.
We're gonna be
sent
shameless.
The 22 out of big law firms.
Yes.
My mom sent that to me.
Yeah, but we want to be shameless and be voted the best lawyer and best talk show in the tri-state. We got to go for this thing, man. We got to unleash the nation. That's all I'm saying.
His speech is called "Go for It."
Go for
Make him feel like there's a lot of people there.
Go for it.
Well, Dad.
Go.
Just shut your big yapper.
I gotta talk to you about Obamacare. You guys are gonna love this, man. When we talk about Obamacare, it is killing us. Last night, Deters, I'll go ahead and just say it now. I'll get more details later in the week because they're gonna give me this chart. Came up at the Deters company, Snappy made a board meeting about Obamacare, and it's a joke. And the way companies that are gonna get around it, you know what we're gonna do, and apparently other companies are gonna do. We're gonna start leasing employees to get underneath the 50. Apparently it's all legal. So here they passed this stupid freaking law. And
Here's how
nobody
we're going to job the system.
we're gonna lease employees. How you like that?
I don't blame you. I thought you were going to say you're going to make them all. Well, you probably
All.
won't be full.
And then what's gonna happen to the people that they, acting like everybody's gonna have universal health care? If you're an average Joe, this is gonna jack you up, man. This is not gonna be good. Not gonna be good.
Hey, if I walk into a Snappy Tomato and say I know you, would I get free pie?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What's the closest one you got to Bellevue?
We used to have one down in Bellevue. Closest one in Bellevue might be the downtown Cincinnati one. We used to have one in Bellevue. I don't know if we do or not. All right. The next song I dedicate to my wife, it's Bay City Rollers Saturday Night. You know why? Because when she was a little girl at Crittenden Elementary, her and her best friend Jill performed a skit to this song. And they won first prize in the National Grade School Talent Competition. They got a scholarship to middle school for their performance on the stage at Little Crittenden Elementary. National champion grade school performers. Bay City Rollers, Saturday night. I see my little Mary right now cheerleading to this song on ClassX Radio. Eating a Snickers on the radio, live, video and all. Looking at Ursula Anders poster. All right, Trevi girl, what do you got there?
An accident in Hamilton on I-74 eastbound west of Ohio-Indiana state line. In Cincinnati, a water main burst on Hamilton Avenue, US 127, north of Rockford Place. In Erlanger, there's an accident on the ramp to the I-75 on Donaldson Highway. In Cincinnati, an accident on Martin Luther King Drive. In Hamilton, an accident on Banning Road at Pippin Road. In Hamilton, an accident on west northbound road between I-74 and West Fork in Cincinnati. And in Cincinnati, an accident on the left shoulder blocking the I-75 southbound Galveth Road exit.
Thank you very much. What do you think of that? Good traffic
Did
report.
she say McMicken? Did you say McMicken?
That's
I wasn't
cleared,
really paying
it's
attention.
cleared.
It's cleared up.
We have
No, I don't like my people getting in wrecks.
the Deters Company and Snappy made a pizza board meetings last night. We did them back to back. Usually have them one third Monday, then the next one fourth Monday. And I missed the last one or two of them because of just my ball schedule. And got this piece of property, and it's paid for. It's an interstate location. And we've been wanting to get a hotel built on it. You know, like have somebody else come in, lease the ground, build the hotel, put it up. And it's common knowledge that the American Indians from India, you know, are in the convenience store business, and they're also in the budget hotels. They do a lot of budget hotels. Well, this guy is a third generation American Indian, you know, from India, not American Indian. And they said that it's this kind of like strange because he has a southern accent. Gets better. It's got a southern accent. I mean, he looks like an Indian from India. Has a southern accent. And guess what his name is? His first name?
Bob.
Floyd.
Floyd.
The guy's name is Floyd, with a southern accent, looks like an Indian.
Floyd the Southern Indian.
And they said it's hilarious. I mean, it's like disconcerting. You're like, hey, doing Floyd? Does not look like a Floyd. But third generation American. But he looks like an Indian.
He probably changed his name because his old name was probably
And then we start.
Ahmadinejad or
some-
something, and then
We talk about serious business in these meetings. We also have some conversations about politics
pizza?
and everything else. No, actually we don't. How stupid is that? The Snappy Tomato board meeting, we ought to be freaking eating pizza.
Should be.
But anyway, our Burlington store's right next door. We started telling stories, and there was a guy, Lebanese, that my mom went to law school, Harlan County High School with, named Rudy Yessen. And the Harlan County basketball team, when my mom was there, were like state champions, and they all went to UK. One of the best UK players of all time was named Wawa Jones. They like that name, Wawa Jones. And the other one was Rudy Yessen. Well, you know, you just never know. I mean, you never know. I always think like you're standing before a judge or a jury. You just don't know the relationships. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. My dad tells me the story a long time ago where he was representing the Benedictine nuns in some issue. And he had won, and whoever was opposing had filed an appeal to some state regulatory board. And, you know, the state regulatory board are usually downstate lawyers, you know, and whatnot. And my dad walks into this room, and these other lawyers, he said, they kind of felt like, we got him on our turf now, you know. He's at Northern Kentucky, and Northern Kentucky's like separate from the rest of the state. I mean, it is. It just looked that different. It's improved a little bit, but not much. I mean, the South begins at the Grant County, the Gallatin County, and the Pendleton County lines. I mean, it's Boone, Kent, and Campbell is very much more Cincinnati than Kentucky. I don't care what anybody says. Well, anyway, my dad walks in this room where this hearing's going to be held. And, of course, the other side thought that they were going to run over him. My dad walks in the room, and Rudy Yessen, from the chairmanship position, goes, "Hi, Charlie, how are you?" There's other sides, the other lawyers are like, "What?" You have no freaking clue that Rudy Yessen went to high school with my mom and knew my dad. Oh, it was hilarious. And then they made their argument, and my dad said, Rudy goes, "Well, what's the problem with this? There's nothing wrong with this." You know, they won. Little home cooking that was unexpected. By the way, as a lawyer, it's just the nature of the game. You get on both sides of that. I like having a judge that I'm going to get a fair shake. But people are crazy. Sometimes you got a good relationship with the judge. I'm not talking about like a illegal one. It's just that some judges like you more than others, and then you got judges who don't like you. And it's better to be on the side, the good side than the bad side.
You ever lost one that you knew like the person pretty well that you thought was a lock?
No. But I've lost plenty where you kind of thought, well, that judge kind of leans this way, and then they didn't, and then you lost. But and I've never won one that was scandalous. I mean, I never won one where like some judge. I mean, I've never been that close to a judge. I don't socialize with judges. I don't hang out with judges. You know, there's one judge retired now that used to like golf all the time with lawyers and hang out with lawyers a lot, and I always thought, man, federal judges keep up a pretty good wall. Federal judges, you know, they keep up that wall. They don't kind of hang out.
And if I was a judge, I'd golf every day. I'd say, hold my case.
If I was a judge, I would be very, very friendly with lawyers. I would let lawyers feel very comfortable talking to me. But the lawyers would soon learn that I'd call them the way I see them. But I would like to have good relationships with lawyers, and I would encourage with all lawyers.
Why don't you become a judge? It seems easy.
Well, here's the problem with being a judge.
You're already halfway there, right?
I'd like to retire as a judge. I think that'd be neat to be a judge. I think I'd be a great judge because I've got humanity. I got lots of experience practicing law in a lot of areas. I mean, I'd be a great judge. The only problem with being a judge is you're very limited financially. I mean, if you're, put it this way, a circuit judge, I think in Kentucky, it's either 125 or 140,000. I think a federal judge is like 225,000. A federal judge. I'm giving myself away a little bit, but I need more money than that.
What?
I make more money than that. I got more bills. I got a bunch of kids, man.
I'd settle
But
for
you're,
250.
well, you see, yeah, as a later in life, here is what I would love. This would be like my perfect retirement. I'd be a judge, teach history at a high school or college, preferably college. You know, teach history, be a judge, teach history. You can do both of those. And on Friday night, coach high school football. That is my dream retirement. Judge, teach history, high school football.
You can't just go coach the game on Friday night. You have to be there.
Yeah, you can if you're an assistant. Yeah, you can if you're an assistant.
No,
If you got a head coach,
too.
yeah, but if you got a head coach who says, "Hey, the Bulldog is going to be a special assistant and help out and give pre-game speeches,"
But then the kids would get mad, be like, "Hey, we're here busting our humps throughout the week."
well, they got to accept that I'm a judge. You think they're going to give lip to a judge? You see what I'm saying? And you know what's funny?
Let's bring them pizza after the game.
And once you're a judge, you're always a judge. That's what's really cool about being a judge. By the way, speaking of Harlan County, Justified's back tonight on FX. Timothy Oliphant. He's kind of like an old throwback. He carries a gun in a holster. By the way, I'm going to get a regular holster for my gun. Chuck got me a holster for the gun. It doesn't fit on the belt, and I can't get the holster out of the gun. If I put the gun on the holster, I'd be like, hold on a minute while I shoot you. I got to get my gun out of the holster. I'm like...
I thought Chuck was good at that stuff.
Oh, Chuck's great at those things. Chuck knows how to use a gun, man. That's why he's the underboss. God, I wish Chuck and Chad had not left on Friday when that Keith Fred guy darn near assaulted me. It would have been a hoot. Because you know what? Chuck would have laid him out. We joke about this, but we don't joke about it. I'm telling you right now, Chuck and Chad are my security.
They pack heat in the courtroom?
Can't pack heat in the courtroom.
I would anyway.
Oh, God.
I'd say, hey, Judge.
Not in front of a federal
shut up your
judge.
ass, I'm going to bring this gun in.
But I can tell you this.
Yeah, you ever done a desk pop?
But I can tell you this. They got concealed carry.
You ever done a desk pop?
A desk pop.
Yeah,
I had a little
pop.
desk pop.
What the hell's that?
You don't know what a desk pop is?
Yeah, I see. It's like you trying to do like a roof raiser on the farm.
Pretty much. Sure, you
Yeah,
just fire your gun at the roof. And
Yeah, roof raiser. Now you'd hit your head in the roof in that barn, and the youngest kid that's lying around, you say, "Hey, will you go get the barn raiser, the roof raiser?" And you tell him it's a big long yellow thing. It's got a crank on it. Of course, there isn't such a thing. But the dumb kid would go look at. I fell for it the first time I did. I was a dumb kid. I can't find it, man.
The roof raiser.
Now the reason why I chose this song is that my lovely wife was the snow cone girl at the Kenton County YMCA as a teenager. A snow cone girl. Not a lifeguard, a snow cone girl. And this song came out during that time period. And I hear this song, I think of my wife as the snow cone girl. On ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. I got to head at 8 o'clock down the old Pendleton County way, and my police expert is going to ride with me so we can talk about some cases. How's that for a multitasking dude? I'll be making phone calls, I'll be working, and I'll be headed to court.
My Hail Marys.
You'll be saying your Hail Marys. Shannon, what do we have going on out there on the bridges, the highways, the byways, the gravel roads, the pit stops, the truck stops in America?
In Hamilton, an accident reported on I-74 eastbound west of the Ohio-Indiana state line. In Cincinnati, there is a water main burst on Hamilton Avenue, US 127 north of Rockford Place. In Cincinnati, an accident on Martin Luther King Drive. In Hamilton, an accident on Banning Road west of Pippin. In Hamilton, an accident on North Bend Road, I-74 in West Fork in Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, an accident blocking the left shoulder on I-75 eastbound on Galbraith Road. And an accident on Frogtown Road at Dixie.
Very good. Frogtown Road, isn't that great? You can tell that road's in Kentucky. I know where Frogtown Road is.
I was just waiting to hear Dixie right after.
I grew up in Green Road, and of course, I know where Frogtown Road is.
Coonskin Road.
And of course, Dixie Highway goes all pretty far down through Kentucky. Dixie Highway, you just drive out all the way to Florida. Good old Dixie Highway. But I grew up on Green Road. I know where Frogtown Road is. My brother lives on our family farm in Beaver Road. No kidding. Brother Thad lives on Beaver Road, Garrett.
Squirrel. Squirrel something red.
Squirrel junk.
Hillary Clinton. I'm going to do a little politics for you, okay? A little evaluation. They've already got a pack going on Hillary. They've got, the Obama interview on 60 Minutes, which was like an endorsement. Because see, when these guys leave, they want to keep their influence going. So it's like, okay, we'll give you our machine, and then you got your machine. And the Obamas have made a blood pact here, man. They're just like two peas in a pod, so to speak. And she's just one of the greatest Secretary of States of all time. Now, Hillary Clinton has gone to more countries and logged more miles than any Secretary of State in history. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, let's do a quick overview of reality. China. Do you think the last 4 years that our relationship with China and our positions and our policies have worked on China? Hell no. North Korea? Hell no. They're working on the missiles. Let me see. Iran? Far worse than we were before 4 freaking years ago. Iraq? Let me see. The president of Iraq now goes and talks to the president of Iran. They're buddies. Afghanistan? Freaking disaster. Libya? Chaos. Benghazi. One word. Benghazi. Egypt? Chaos. Syria? Chaos. Poor relationship with Israel. Poor relationships with England. Poor relationships with the European Union. I mean, are you kidding me? Where has there been any diplomatic success? Nowhere. Hillary Clinton is going to have around her political neck her legacy as a failed Secretary of State for a failed President of the United States. How can... Great. It is chaos in the world. In the last 4 years, things have gotten worse everywhere. Everywhere. I challenge anybody. Prove to me I'm wrong. You can't. Pakistan, relationships, worse. African countries, worse. Israel, come on. Worse than it's ever been. This president wants the United States of America to fail. Fail. It's that simple, isn't it, Garrett?
Yeah. Obama hates me. He hates you.
He hates us. He hates America. Well, this is really nice the way you help him hang those posters.
Sit here on my ass and.
So, I thought you were going to keep Heather on your computer
on my screen. Yeah.
Screensaver.
Get Alyssa Milano, please.
Yes.
Oh, Alyssa Milano. You know, it's kind of neat to watch Jake how he's
It's
kind
my
of.
favorite we got. In
Really?
this batch.
Well, that's because she's the youngest.
Yeah, she's not.
I'm sitting there.
She's not dead.
I
Yet.
think it's neat the way Jake, figures out where to put each one of them. He puts some thought behind them.
He's kind of
obviously.
making it artsy up there.
Yeah,
I like his
very
plans.
artistic. He takes color, black and white, mixes them up. He He's got Bruce Springsteen and Teddy over there to kind of run interference. Teddy guards the right flank, Bruce the left.
Yeah.
I would suggest maybe you get General Grant to guard the left flank. TR can take the right, him and his Rough Riders.
Sarah's got a nice picture up there. I like Sarah. That's tasteful, classy.
I think Mary Zimmer's is the best, no question about it.
Mary Z. Cheryl Teagues
that's
is
a
the
great-
worst up there.
That's a great supermodel name, isn't it? Mary Z.
Mary Z.
Marilyn. That's a good one, of
Jen
Marilyn.
Aniston, so innocent.
I had to go. I'm just going to say we don't have a bad
Yeah, you
picture
did.
up there. With all due respect, you want to rag on Cheryl Teagues? I don't see it.
Jake, can we move Kate Upton up? Because her
She blocked. This part's
she's a little
blocked.
blocked.
This
Hey,
is blocked.
hey, I want you to know
the best one
you can't move their arms on the posters. Sorry, Garrett.
Damn.
And guess what Williams told me? Justified's been back for 3 freaking weeks. How come I didn't know? I've missed the first 3 episodes of Justified.
Thanks for putting it in the newsletter, William.
Good golly. He didn't.
I know.
I cannot believe I've missed it.
You can download it.
You know when you get behind it-
just download it.
By the way, I went to bed. Spartacus came back on Sunday night, and I only watched half of that. By the way, you talk about a bloody show. My God, it's blood and sex, baby. They know what sells on Old Stars. When we come back, I'm going to give the top 15 things that I love about my wife while remaining tasteful. You know, this list, if I wanted, it could be... Actually, I came up with like 20, but I'm going to go with the top 15
Did
best
we do
things.
sports?
Yes, we did sports. There wasn't much in sports. Tiger won.
Dan and I'll talk.
UK
sports.
plays tonight. Yeah, and you and Dan can delve into sports a little bit more.
That's probably good. See, I couldn't talk to Dan about the wall.
By the way, if you had to pick, who would you want on your team? Magic or Bird?
Oh, Bird, he doesn't have AIDS. Not bad.
You know what?
It's just a longer playing career. That's all I'm saying.
You know, if I had to choose between Bird and Magic,
Birdie.
I think I'd take Bird too. He just had a little more grit, I think. Don't get me wrong, Magic was phenomenal. You know, to be a 6'9" point guard, jeez,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Big guy handling the rock.
And I liked, by the way, back in this rivalry, I was a Lakers fan. James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Abdul Jabbar.
Yeah.
You know what his real name is, right?
Yes. Lou Alcindor.
Nice, nice.
Lou
Shannon, did you know that?
I did not.
Alcindor.
For you. Look at the shoes they wore back then. Well, just
Hey,
chucks.
does your ex-boyfriend play special songs for you on the radio?
No.
See, I get to play songs for my wife on the radio.
What does your ex-boyfriend do? Let's dig up some. Guy.
Right now, nothing.
He's deadbeat.
He's on unemployment.
Wow. He lives in Kentucky.
You're mean.
No.
You know what's so funny, folks?
Does it,
Garrett lives in Bellevue, Kentucky. I rest my case, Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Hillbilly.
tell people that.
Hillbilly.
Tell
Yeah, I'm hillbilly.
Hey, I moved there. I transplanted to wealthy Anderson Township, where I still hold
To
claim
Bohemian. To Bohemian.
I still claim residency in Anderson Town. We have a huge house.
All right, we come
pool.
back to top
All
15
the
things I love about my wife while remaining tasteful. And this is our song, or my song for her. Lobo, I'd Love You to Want Me on ClassX Radio. The best love song of all time. ClassX Radio. All right, Shannon, what do we got there in traffic?
There is an accident on Frogtown Road at Dixie. In Cincinnati, an accident on Martin Luther King Drive. An accident on Reading Road, US 42 at William Howard Taft. In Hamilton, an accident on Beekman Street. Also in Hamilton, disabled vehicles on I-74. An accident on 128 Hamilton Cleves Road at I-75. In Hamilton, an accident on Ridge Road at Highland Avenue. And an accident on Montgomery Road southbound at I-275.
Very good. Guess what? I got key cards. Chuck, you need one, don't you?
Yes.
Finally got
Well,
key.
just stick it in the outside door?
Yeah.
I got that.
You got that one?
For the law office.
Oh, okay. All right, all right.
Do you have one for me?
I gave you one. You're using mine, aren't you?
Did you want it back?
No, I just use yours.
Okay.
How you like that?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I got to go after this segment to go to Pendleton County to represent Cassie Elfers. You know what? Law comes first. Dan's going to be in here. Shannon, will you promise to keep Dan and Garrett in line?
Absolutely. I'll try my best.
All right, the top 15 things I love about my wife while remaining tasteful. Number 15, she loves sports and knows the rules.
She really know the rules?
Yes, she does. You can watch Bengals game, UK game. She knows the rules. Isn't that cool for a woman?
Like,
you don't want a girl that doesn't know what the hell's going on. She knows. She was a cheerleader for all those years. She knows the rules.
She was a cheerleader. I'm
She
sure Sarah
knows
Jones
the
doesn't have
rules.
any rules.
Yes, she does.
Did she call out like a pass interference?
Absolute,
Offsides? She know the
absolutely.
difference between offsides?
Yes, 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 yes. Number 14, she's not an attention seeker. Is there anything worse than having a wife or a girlfriend that stands on top of tables drunk? Hey,
Look at me.
who wants to go out with that girl? She's not that. Number 13,
You know, that reminds me of
who?
our original traffic girl.
She be nice. My wife is smart. She finished number 7 in her high school class and has a college degree, and she's from Kentucky, Garrett.
Yeah, so probably 7 people in her class.
Number 12, she's more talented than Martha Stewart on all fronts. Cooking, baking, everything.
Money laundering?
Number 11, she makes chicken pot pie and shepherd's pie upon demand, and they're the best.
8 chicken.
Number 10,
Horrible.
she isn't a big credit card account shopper. She doesn't go shop, 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 like doctors' wives do.
That's good. Like
Number 9.
Kurtzman's Peggy.
Patty's always at the freaking mall.
Peggy.
She will always stand on my back. That's number 9. She's like a chiropractor. She stands on my back, pop it back in place. Number 8. She clips all my unwanted ear, nose, and back hair
That's
for me.
love.
That's
That's
number 8.
That is love.
Number 7.
Shave your back?
Yes. She hasn't left me. That's number 7. Should have put that number 1. Number 6. She wasn't really a big movie goer, but she goes to movies with me. And she's seen Les Miserables 3 times. With her mom, with me, and her best friend. Number 5. She always smells good. I mean, I can never remember one time that she smelled bad. It's important. Number 4. I'm not kidding you. She's never once had bad breath. I'm not kidding you. Morning, night, whatever.
That's big.
Never bad breath. Number 4. Okay, that's number 4. Number 3. She doesn't have a single gnarly body part. I'm not kidding you. Not one. Perfect.
No crooked toes.
No. In fact, that's number 2. Cute feet.
Feet aren't cute.
When I was like 15, 16, going out on dates, I looked down at a girl's feet and say, I ain't going out with you no more. You gotta have cute feet.
You got like the
My wife has the cutest
yellow
feet.
stuff in there.
My wife has the cutest feet of any woman on the face of the earth. And number 1, want to take a guess what number 1 is? She only uses black nail polish when I deserve it.
What?
I hate black nail polish, but if I do something wrong, she'll put black nail polish just to freaking get me
Like
back.
this is some sort of thing.
No, that's what it is. I've talked about that so many times. I figure you all would know that.
Yeah, I don't listen to the show.
That was fun.
That was a good list. So.
15.
Hell of a woman.
Top
Hell of a
15.
woman. Very
Tastefully
Z.
done. That's right. Tastefully done. Oh my God. Bob from Aurora. Bellevue, Bellevue, Bellevue. Ha ha, hillbilly. Make sure Garrett eats this grits this morning. Wow. Godfather throwing down.
Yeah, hey Bob, you more.
Wow, 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 wow,
Did you
wow,
notice I moved
wow.
into one of the nicer parts of Kentucky though?
Bellevue?
Bellevue.
Yeah.
By the way, my wife and I have talked about moving to Bellevue.
It's a
Seriously.
nice area.
It's a great
but
area.
If people from Anderson are forced to migrate to the dark side, Bellevue is the place to do it. Bellevue, Fort Thomas is kind of nice, but a little too
Nah,
desperate.
hoity-toity.
Yeah, it's a little too desperate housewives for me. Bellevue is where the young people, the young rich people hang out. So that's why I'm there.
Well, I like the little Bellevue shops they got going down there. You're close to
Oh, yeah,
Newport on the
people out
levee.
all the time.
Got nice condominium projects down there. I like to maybe go down there and live near Tracy.
Yeah.
You know, hang out with Tracy
Oh,
on
we're
weekends.
neighbors. We're neighbors.
Are you?
I didn't tell you that?
No.
Yeah, we live in that
Same
high
place?
rise.
Oh, you do? I didn't know that.
Same floor.
I figured you lived in some kind of dive down there.
No. Look, got a great view of the city, the river. It's a nice area. So, hey, Bob, blow it out trash, pal. Where's he live? Freaking
Aurora?
Franklin? Yeah,
Aurora, Indiana?
yeah,
What's wrong with Aurora, Indiana?
Ah, you hillbillies. Hate them. Bring it on, Bob.
Does Indiana have hillbillies?
Oh, plenty of them.
They what?
Garrett, did you get beat up by a hillbilly?
What did a hillbilly ever do to me? Yeah, nothing. Actually, everyone I've run into is real nice.
That's shit. You need to let that go.
One time somebody
Let that go.
gave me a jump. My car broke down. No, it didn't break down. Battery died.
Mm-hmm.
Gave
What kind
me a
of
jump,
car?
nice guy.
Hey, wait. What we tell the American jury, because I don't know, they might want to know, what kind of car do you drive? You're making fun of my F-150. What do you drive,
It's a
hillbilly?
Lexus. ES 300.
A Lexus?
Yeah, my mom
Man,
bought it.
you are hoity-toity.
My mom bought it for me.
You are hoity-toity, man. You're like Richard from Indian Hill, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Richard's a good friend.
Garrett
of mine.
from Indian Hill.
I talked to him off the air all the time at the big station.
It's not Richard from Indian Hill. It's Garrett from Anderson Township. No. This is better. Garrett from Bellevue, formerly from Anderson Township. That's your name. Garrett from Bellevue, formerly from Anderson Township. You got a long name now, man.
Yeah, well, I love my people. Hey, I know what song we got to play next.
Yeah, wait,
because
what-
I just found it.
What song do we want?
Brandy?
She's a fine girl.
Yeah.
Good friend of
Isn't that a
mine.
good song?
Yes, it's a great song.
Chili Peppers covered this.
Did they? Ladies and gentlemen, American jury, I'm going to take care of clients. They'll all hold the fort down here till I'm
Is
back
that-
tomorrow. Yes, that's it on ClassX Radio.
ClassX Radio, Dr. Dan Francis setting in for the Bulldog.
God is in the building.
We are always having a good time with sports. And
What you got going on today? Annual service?
No, Tuesday I got staff meeting, I got, hospital visitation, we got some sick folks out there, so the typical stuff, getting out there, getting around, doing some influence.
Get some babies.
That's right. Do we have any traffic issues, Shannon, we need to check in on?
We do. There is an accident on I-71 northbound at Ronald Reagan Highway. Slow traffic from Kenwood Road exit in Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, an accident on Harrison Avenue at McKinley Avenue. In Hamilton, an accident on Loveland Madeira Road at Highway 126. In Cincinnati, an accident on Reading Road, US 42 at William Howard Taft Road. In Hamilton, an accident on I-28. Hamilton Cleves Road at I-275. In Cincinnati, on accident on Ridge Road at Highland Avenue. In Hamilton, an accident on Montgomery Road southbound at I-275. And there's an accident blocking the left shoulder on I-275 eastbound at Reed Hartman.
Very well done. I don't know
Thank you.
if you know, Shannon, but this is not a place that you will get a lot of affirmation. So I'm here from time to time bringing my kumbaya just to encourage folks, and Garrett loves it. Just know that he looks forward to me being here because I affirm him in all the ways that he needs to be affirmed, right, Garrett?
Man is the God in my life.
Oh boy, we talk sports all the time because I am a sports junkie. Can't get a whole lot of folks to listen to me, but I love sports. And we were talking in the break and thought it was appropriate that we might talk today a little bit about Ray Lewis. He is an interesting dude to say the least. He is the middle linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens, going for his second Super Bowl. And the year, interestingly, I had forgotten this, Garrett, that the year that he went through all this stuff with the possible murder was the year they won the Super Bowl.
On the Super Bowl the next year, yeah.
Forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Paul Doherty, one of the guys that I like to read, has a really good article about him. And let me just hit 2 or 3 paragraphs here. I'm not sure why I don't despise Ray Lewis the way you do, but I don't. He's in the New Orleans now answering questions over and over, and some will be about murders he didn't commit 13 years ago. Maybe Lewis sees it as a form of perpetual atonement, either that or a form of, or a nail in his hand. I thought that was an interesting image, almost kind of like the cross to bear. Anyway, he talks about the Atlanta nightclub on January the 31st, 2000, and he said it was pretty darn great for the families of the 2 men slain at the Colbart Lounge there, because he confessed that these families have never really had what he would call justice or closure. And he goes into a little bit more detail. He says, I should dislike Ray Lewis for that more than I do, but The law said he wasn't to blame. He entitled to the protection of that decision. And then he talks about how a religious zeal came about in his life. But to his defense, he says that Lewis's faith didn't fog the mirror of suspicion. He didn't add God to his roster until after the cops dropped the murder charges against him. Could be a product of his guilt. Who knows? Religion can be a form of apology. Then he goes on with Ray Ray's entire Me catalog. And this is the part that really bothers a lot of people, including me. From the pregame warrior dance to the postgame piety quiet is awfully annoying. It's over-the-top self-affection, even for a professional athlete. But it doesn't gripe me any more than Chad's in-zone river dance did. Maybe when it's our guy doing the preening, it's okay. So it says he plays a larger-than-life position other than quarterback, talking about the violent ballet that he does as a middle linebacker. Larger-than-life people get larger-than-life second chances. He says, I don't begrudge Lewis's second chance. Seems to me he's done well with it. He extensively is involved in charity, hands-on volunteer work. He's overtly religious. That might bug some of you, but it's better than the overtly loudish. And so he says that Lewis has decided that God has put him here for a purpose terrific. He believes that God wants him to win football games. Of course, we could talk about how God's not interested in football games if you want to as well. But the evidence was sketchy. And then finally he concludes the last paragraph. In 1 year, Ray Lewis went from murder suspect to Super Bowl MVP. 6 days he'll play for the second ring. Never has such an image-conscious league had a player so good at rehabbing his image. Lewis might say he's blessed. Probably. You don't agree? I'm not sure I do either. I'll allow Lewis his blessings, though. I'll give him those. The other stuff is not my call. Pretty good article. What's your sense for the man, Lewis, and all that he does, and just the way in which he's lived his life?
Yeah, well, Doc points out an obvious point to me that God doesn't give a damn if you
right.
win a game, I guess,
So,
right? He doesn't
I
care.
chat with him regularly. I hope, I think that's him I'm chatting with, and he's never talked to me about football games.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some Niners fans that are Jesus lovers and
That's right.
Bible thumpers and all that, too.
That's
And,
right.
so that is stupid. The whole, the antics, the dances he does, the squirrel dance.
Oh, man.
Yeah, of course, like Bengals fans think it's stupid. Ravens fans love it.
Yep.
They love every minute of it. And, two people, or somebody he was with that night, killed those people.
That's right. That's exactly. And it was with a knife. It was with a knife. wasn't it?
They were stabbed,
Yeah.
yeah. It was, I don't think it was him either.
I don't
Just
think so.
reading everything about that night,
But the
it doesn't
kicker,
appear to be him.
the kicker
but
is he
was
got rid
accountable.
of.
He was there.
Yeah, he got rid of his suit.
His
and that
suit.
disappears.
And there was some things with the knife, like he was signing autographs at a sporting goods store the day before the Super Bowl, and bought him. There was like some confusion about whether he bought the
Really?
knife or,
Is that right?
or a knife that day. But yeah, the bottom line is these people were all in the wrong place at the wrong time, getting probably stupid drunk. It was 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And they, got in a fight,
Yep.
like dumbass people do,
That's
and
right.
somebody got stabbed,
That's right.
and it's like it's not worth it for anybody involved, and now you feel for this family that has
You do.
to go through it, because Ray Lewis was there. Again, he didn't stab, and Doc pointed that out. He didn't stab anybody. I don't
Right.
think he actually physically killed anyone.
Right.
Somebody he was with killed somebody in that club, and then he, all of a sudden, his life flashes before his eyes because he's a budding star in the NFL,
Right.
just beginning his career at that point, and now somebody's with stabs somebody to death,
Right.
and he's got blood on his suit, and he's like, holy hell,
Mm-hmm.
what do I do from here? So I think that ditching the suit was part of that.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been hard to explain.
The
And
4
the
o'clock
fact
in the
that they were-
morning, the 4 o'clock in the morning, you are an athlete, you have these bodyguards typically around you,
Yeah.
and you're just like a target for somebody
Yeah.
to come after you because there's a lawsuit possibly.
Right.
There's all kinds of things that wrap around that, just not to have the good sense.
And it all comes back to money.
It does.
At the end of the
It
day.
does.
It always does. And that's what it is. You get friends that you shouldn't be hanging around with. Or
Yeah.
they're your homeboys from back in the day. And, they're still thugs.
Right.
You're really shouldn't be anymore because you got a ton of money. And
The two classic stories, take Michael Vick's life and how that played out with hanging with the people that
Yeah.
he grew up with, and take LeBron James. LeBron's posse, so to speak, is all of his high school buddies,
Right.
and they've been good friends.
and
through
he
the years.
came, yeah. I mean, other than LeBron's kind of stupid to have that
Oh.
as his like advisor.
Yeah, there's especially about the announcement to go into the
The
Heat.
announcement. But I mean, that pales in comparison to a murder
yeah.
case.
Oh, yeah.
Or
We're not
catching
even
a
close.
case for murder or for killing dogs.
Right, that's right.
You know,
Yeah.
torturing dogs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. It's where they grow up. It's where they're from. I'm not exactly sure where Ray Lewis is from. He went to Miami.
Went to
Yeah.
Miami for college ball. You're right. I'm not sure before that, but he was the Miami poster boy coming out of college.
Yeah.
He was the deal. And did he go first round? First.
I would think he was
Yeah.
first round
I think he's
pick.
first round. I know he's
Yeah.
first round. He may have been first pick, but he was.
Was
Yeah, he was very much well. He was well known out of the
Yeah.
Miami. That's back when Miami was kicking tail too. They were really, really good back then.
So yeah, the whole God thing, the whole I mean, after they beat the Patriots, it was like, good God,
I know.
like I mean, he put on a spectacle. It's all me all the time.
Oh, it dripped.
Again, if you're a Ravens fan, you probably love,
Love it.
And you know that's how Chad was a little
It
bit
was.
when he was here.
Oh, absolutely. And we gave Chad the benefit of the doubt because he was one of ours, so to speak. But I
Right.
never liked the over the top. When he did the Hall of Fame thing, coked, I
Yeah.
just pulled my hair out.
I'm
Said,
sure there were, and there's probably Ravens fans that are like you too, that are more level-headed that think, oh God, I really wish
Still,
you
it's-
wouldn't do it. You
Still,
know?
it's just too much. Yesterday, I heard the excerpt just from the. They left. They had a rally,
Right.
and they put the mic in front of him, and he was very low key. So I'm thinking maybe he's just learning that too much Ray Lewis is not going to be a good thing for him this week.
Well, yeah, I think he'll tone it down. I also heard that he told his teammates to not pose with the Lombardi Trophy until
Oh,
they
really?
win it. If they
Is
win
that
it. 'Cause,
right?
Yeah, I guess you're allowed to take pictures with it and stuff.
And he says no trophy posing.
Which that would. I don't know. I mean, I wonder if he posed with the trophy before they
Beforehand.
won it
Right.
in 2001.
I suspect they have to do all that pre-game so that they don't have to get the players together in case they want to use those pictures later. I suspect.
Right. Yeah. And I think they'll even use them during the game. I think some.
Oh, do they?
NBC or whoever has the broadcast this year. I remember a couple of years ago they would have like these. They tried to be real. I don't know, catchy, provocative, like photos of like Tom Brady holding the trophy, like looking at it like a
Really?
child.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they might use them for that kind of stuff, but Ray said
No deal.
no to that.
No to deal. And the whole team's supposed to stay off of it, I guess.
That's what he
That's
told
what
them,
he
so I'm
said.
sure they
Okay.
love him there. So,
I'm
by the
sure.
way, my dad, Big John, thinks that Flacco's luck runs out Sunday. 49ers win by 2 TDs.
By two? Oh my goodness!
I wanna see a
By
game.
two. I do
See a
too.
game, you
I
know?
do too.
But
Well, it's time for some music. What do we got going on over there,
Three-Dog
Garrett?
Night?
3-Dog Night, my choice. ClassX Radio, Dr. Dan Francis, pastor at Latonia Baptist Church, and stayintheroom.com. One more interesting fact about sports. Had you been following the Tiger Woods thing and the fact that he has formerly, evidently what they're saying is he's offered, he wants to remarry his wife, and the difference between the 200 million and the 350 million. Have you heard anything about that, Garrett?
I knew that there was something like they were talking about getting back together, and then I heard there was some money involved. So what's he going to pay her to get back?
I mean, can you
Yeah, or
imagine that? I mean,
something.
nobody knows for sure, obviously, but the Rags are going crazy with this, and the fact that he just nails this tournament over the weekend. I mean, he just played really well.
Good word for it,
Yes,
nails.
he nails the tournament.
Nice, Dan.
That
Real classy,
was a
man.
Freudian slip. A Freudian slip. Okay.
I'm gonna have to class up this program.
That's right. I'm glad you're here to help me. It was just really interesting, I thought, because she's a really classy-looking lady, and the articles that I've read is simply that he said, I'll put a prenup in there for $200 million, and she said, if you do this again, $350. So there's a little bit of distinction, and I understand she got $150 million the first time. So wow. It's just,
I don't know. I'd hate to see her get back together because I feel like she is classy,
she is.
and I'd lose a lot of respect for her probably. What about you, Shannon?
I would stay away from him if I was her.
You-
It's an awful lot of girls he had on the side.
Seems like there were numerous ones.
Yes.
Shannon, do we know anything about traffic? Is anything going on that we need to know about?
Yes, there is an accident on I-71 northbound at Ronald Reagan Highway. Slow traffic from Kenwood Road exit in Cincinnati. In Reed Hartman, an injury accident on Fields Earl Road at Indiana Springs Drive. In Hamilton, an injury accident on Beekman Street at Westwood Northern Boulevard in Hupple. In Cincinnati, an accident on Harrison Avenue at McKinley Avenue. In Hamilton, an accident on Loveland Madeira Road at Highway 126 and Remington Road. In Cincinnati, an accident on Reading Road, US 42 at William Howard Taft Road. In Hamilton, an accident on 128 Hamilton Cleves Road at I-275. And in Cincinnati, an accident on Ridge at Highland Avenue.
Thank you, Shannon.
You're welcome.
Mentioned during the break about this young man by the name of Aaron Swartz. He made access to ideas his lifelong crusade. If you know anything about him, you know that he was kind of a brainiac early in his life. He was a top programmer of computers, and that led him later to be a hacker. He was threatened. He was going to face the potential 35 years in prison on 13 counts of fraud, cybercrime, and other charges which he allegedly stole a massive database of academic journals. And you kind of roll your head and think, okay, academic journals, what's the big deal? But evidently there's some money in all of that, as you might expect. Well, he committed suicide back just a week or two ago in his Brooklyn apartment. Harvard law professor said he was enormously sweet and generous kid. And so, you know, you just have to wonder, he was a kind of Robin Hood. They projected that $58 billion in annual lost revenue from U.S. copyright violations necessitates a tough law on this kind of crime. When he was 13, he generated an online encyclopedia called Info Network. He spent a year at Stanford University, but left to find a company that merged with Reddit, R-E-D-D-I-T, the popular news and information portal. And once he was out of college, his activism took a political turn. And so he broke into MIT wiring closet and downloaded some 4.8 million documents from a source called JSTOR, a private subscription-based nonprofit repository of scholarly publications. And so from 2010 to 2011, the federal government cracked down on thefts, part of 64% increase in cybercrime indictments and 71% in rise in actual convictions. The sad part is that prosecutors offered him 6 months in jail if he pleaded guilty and were flexible about how and where he would spend that. I don't know, I just read the article. Did y'all hear anything about it? What do you think about that? And I mean, it's a catch-22 in that you can't not prosecute folks when there's laws, but boy, you hate to see this kind of thing happen.
Yeah, it depends on what he was
Right.
kind of stealing.
If it was military stuff, certainly I understand that.
Yeah, I don't want people to out that's like the WikiLeaks type
Really bothered me.
stuff.
It
yeah.
did. It really bothered me.
It's like I don't care because what am I going to do with that information? But what's somebody else going to do with that information? So.
Well, and the whole scholarly thing, golly, I wish there could have been some kind of come to agreement on that.
If you're
because
that good at computers, I would think that you could get a job where you make a ton of money legit,
yeah.
You know?
Well, I don't think that was the issue. Of course, he wasn't making any money off of it. I think it was, with some of these hackers, it's just political. You know, I want to be able to do this to show you that I can do it. And the government is simply saying, you can't do that, and we'll show you why you can't do that. So it's obviously a huge standoff, and it's a very, very sad thing. And, you know, the Bulldog's going to have to probably look at some legal stuff because this cyber stuff's it's not going to go away. With the dirty.com, you know, them trying to compare that with Facebook, it's just not the same. And I listened to that, that last week and read between the lines, and it looks to me like they've got these guys on the run you can't just say anything about anybody and not be accountable for it. So that's certainly my hope. Shannon, do you have any thoughts about the dirty.com thing or all that? I know you listened to some of that last week.
Yeah, you know, the dirty.com, I hope Eric wins that because I think that's terrible. And just the website itself just seems like it's just to disgrace women. I think it's awful.
It is awful. And if you name yourself dirty,
Right.
I mean, did that tell you something?
Right.
I mean, they named themselves that, I think, to get the notoriety, and then to come across the way they tried to come across was just amazing to me. And I think Eric has them on the run. I mean, this 8-2 jury, certainly it's going to help in some way.
Right, I hope so. It just seems like it's for just to humiliate people.
Well, it is. And how Eric's been able to tie in the whole case with extortion and using it to say, we'll take it down if you'll give us some money. I mean, that has to be illegal as heck, for that kind of thing to happen. So
I'd take the money.
I'd take the money and run, right? All right, we are easing into a good break here, and we're going to listen to Billy Joel. She's always a woman. This is ClassX Radio. This is ClassX Radio. Dr. Dan Francis in for the Bulldog. We've just got a few more minutes before we send it off. I must admit, the wall looks better and better every day I enter. I want to give credit to the Jakester. Evidently we've got a new level of posters. I don't know where we're going to put all these, but if you've not seen the wall in the studio, you just can't imagine how nice it really is.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep imagining too, you creepy hillbillies. Don't come in here.
Don't come in here looking around.
Show up.
Just a quick overview of the news before we send you out. Did you know that CVG, Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport, has a new low-cost Frontier? Frontier Airlines announced Monday it will do a non-stop 6 days a week to guess where? Denver. You've been to Denver before, Garrett?
No.
How about you, Shannon?
Wow.
Yep, it's going. And then the joy of all American farmers is getting hemp over the hump. That's right, hemp is actually being looked at because it's be a great help to the farmers. One other thing, the record hall for the Red Kettle. There you go. I knew we would get some response. The snickering was overwhelming in the studio. That's right, good for the farmers.
For their crop.
You can't be normal here. I'm just telling you. Thanks to hundreds, it says, of volunteer bell ringers, Salvation Army raised more than $775,000 for its nonprofit, which was more than they expected. I saw an ad in Time Magazine the other day for Salvation Army, and it was really cool. I don't know who did this for them, but they said, quote, "We combat national disasters with acts of God." That's a really good play on the whole. Whenever there's a national disaster, it's an act of God, they say, from insurance standpoint. They say we combat natural disasters with acts of God. Pretty good stuff. Well, it's been a good day. It's been good for me to get to meet Shannon and to get to affirm her because, it's a tough place to get affirmation in the studio.
Thank you very much.
And I look forward to continuing to make music superbity, radio superbity, when we were on ClassX Radio together. This is Dr. Dan Francis filling in for the Bulldog. This is ClassX Radio. Every Bulldog has its day. I hope tomorrow is yours, and today is even better than that. Thanks for being with us.